The Lone Ranger.
Yeah, Engine.
Me look for Marshal Bill Nichols.
Nichols, why?
Him old friend me pass through town and want to stop say hello.
Try the hotel later on this afternoon. He generally gets in about 4:30.
Him not work here anymore?
No, he retired. I took over about 6 months ago. My name's Hendricks. Look, I'm a little bit busy if there's anything else.
Nothing else.
Say, Engine, wait a minute. Maybe you can help me out. Do you know Tom Bryant?
No.
Well, he's the banker here in Two Rivers. I've got some papers he ought to sign. I'm not going to have time to drop them off myself. Would you deliver them for me?
Me take them to him at bank?
If he was at the bank, I'd take them over myself. No, he and his son are staying home today. You can't miss it. It's the first big ranch on the South Road. Well?
Let me go.
All right, much obliged. Take your gun off and leave it here in the office.
Why leave gun?
It's a local ordinance, Engine. You can pick the gun up when you come back from Brian's ranch.
No, Dad. I'm through taking your orders. I'm through working for you at the bank. From now on, I'm going to live my own life.
Stop playing the child. Be a man. Can't you once be a man?
No, not the kind you want me to be. Not the cold-blooded banker. No regard for anything except the almighty dollar. I'm going to work my way through law school.
You'd starve to death before you get your diploma.
Well, that's my business. The West needs good lawyers, and that's what I'm going to do.
All my life, I've worked to pile up a fortune. For you. I've made myself the biggest man in this territory, so that someday you could take over and be even bigger. Before I'd let you throw that all away, I'd send you to prison as a thief.
Thief? I've never stolen anything in my life.
No, but I'll accuse you of taking $10,000 out of the bank, and I can rig the books for evidence to make it stick.
You wouldn't dare go that far. You're bluffing.
Try me and see.
All right, I will. Get out of my way, I'm leaving.
You're staying. That's an order.
Now, get out of my way. That's
Red,
an order.
Give me that gun.
Dad! I didn't mean to shoot you. It was an accident. Get away from that door! Wherever you are! Get away! Stay away!
Marshal!
Well, Engine, I see you got back.
Marshal, you come quick. Me see murder.
Murder? Where?
At Bryant's house. Me see young feller named Fred shoot banker doing argument.
Fred?
Me tried to enter house, but him shoot at me through door. Me decide to come back here, tell you what happened.
Oh, much obliged, Engine. Where do you think you're going?
Help capture young man.
Now, without a deputy's badge on, you're not. You've told your story, now make tracks. I'll take over from here.
Well, Tonto, did you see Marshal Bill Nichols?
I'll have chance, Kemo Sabe. Town had new marshal named Hendricks. Him said Nichols retired maybe 6 months ago.
Yes, I remember Bill saying he wanted to return to private life.
Maybe him quit too soon.
What do you mean?
Me see murder today. Me think Hendricks not able to handle investigation.
You saw a murder?
Me take paper to home a banker named Bryant. See young feller shoot him.
Tom Bryant?
You know him?
Well, I've heard of him. Politically and financially, he's one of the most important figures in the West. I think we'd better return to Two Rivers and offer our help.
People ask many questions about mask.
Tonto, I won't wear this mask. Tom Bryant's murder doesn't seem to have caused too much excitement here in town.
Me not understand it, Kemo Sabe.
That's the way you guard your post. Law's supposed to be wide awake, alert, ready for any emergency.
Come on, Pop. Now, what do you want?
Huh.
You know this old geezer engine?
Ah, him friend. Him come see if you find murderer.
What murderer?
Man named Fred, him kill banker.
What are you talking about, Injun?
Let me tell you about him an hour ago.
I never saw you before in my life. Now, if this is some kind of a joke...
Just a minute, Marshal. You call my engine friend here a liar?
Look, if there was a murder in Two Rivers, I'd know about it. Maybe the redskin here got hold of a little too much firewater.
Me not argue. Me go Bryant's house.
I say we all go, Marshal. Come on.
Well, suit yourself, but Brian's a mighty busy man. You better have a pretty good reason for wanting to bother him. Just leave your guns here.
My guns? What for?
It's the law.
Look at here, Marshal. I ain't traveling this town without me six-shooters. You want 'em? Try and take 'em. Make your draw. Ain't drawed yet? Not so fast, eh, Sonny?
Okay, Pop, you win. You can keep the guns. I don't guess you'll hurt anybody with them.
What do you say? Let's go, Injun. Come on, Marshal.
Marshal Hendricks.
Just a minute.
Howdy, Fred. I'm sorry to bother you, but these fellows wanted to see your dad. I told them he was probably busy, but they seemed awful set on it.
Well, couldn't you come back a little later? My father is busy.
Look here, Sonny. We ain't leaving till we meet your father face to face. You might as well make up your mind to that.
Fred, who is it?
Someone to see you, Dad.
Oh, all right, all right. Oh, it's you, Hendricks.
You not hurt, sir?
Hurt me? Of course not. What's this all about, Hendricks?
Well, I don't rightly know myself, sir. These two came storming into my office a while ago, claiming you'd been shot, so...
Shot? By whom?
By him. Me see through window.
Indian, I don't know what you're trying to prove, but I don't think it's very funny. This gentleman happens to be my son. Furthermore, he doesn't even own a gun, do you, Fred?
No, Father.
Huh. Don't look much like a man with a bullet in him, does he, Injun?
I've never felt better in my life. And now, if you're convinced I'm not a ghost, maybe you let me get back to my work.
Me sorry to bother you, sir.
Yeah, me too.
Come on.
Oh, Hendricks,
Yes, sir?
can you spare a moment? I'd like to talk to you.
Well, sure, Mr. Bryan. They're gone.
Help me to the couch.
Me not know what to say, Kemo Sabe. Me see Fred shoot his father.
I'm sure you did, Tom. There was a smell of medicine in the room, the kind they use when they bandage a gunshot wound.
And here more proof, Kemo Sabe. Bullet holes made when Fred shoot at me. But why them try to fool us?
We might find the answer if we look hard enough. We'd better get back to camp.
I knew that crazy Indian would come back. I still think we ought to call in a doctor.
You're a fool, Hendricks. I'm beginning to wonder why I ever had you appointed marshal. No doctor could look at this and say it was an accident. At least we've got the bleeding stopped. I'll be as good as new in a few days. But you, after the way I've planned for you, made things easy for you, and now this. It's a terrible thing to know that you've failed with your own son.
Then why didn't you let me go this morning?
I'd never let go of anything that's mine. I'll still make a man of you. My kind of man. Strong, powerful.
Ruthless like you.
I'll teach you to be like me if it kills both of us. I've got you where I want you now. If you step out of line, I'll send you to prison for shooting me.
Even though it was an accident?
I'll swear it was intentional. But no Nobody's to know about any of this unless I say so. Understand?
Nobody does know about it except us three and that Indian.
Yes, the Indian. If he comes back to town, jail him. And see that he never sets foot in Two Rivers again. Now get out of here, both of you. Let me rest.
Tonto, I think we'd better have a talk with Bill Nichols. As former marshal of Two Rivers, he may be able to give us some information about that banker and his son. After all, concealing the gunshot wound is against the law.
And Marshal Hendricks not seem to think so.
Hendricks is paid by Tom Bryant. He does whatever he says. But Bill Nichols can't be influenced. If he knows anything, he'll tell us.
Me ride into town and bring him back here for a talk.
I'll be waiting. Be careful, Tonto.
Real persistent, ain't you, Injun? Now, that's kind of too bad, because I don't think you're going to like our jail cell one bit.
You not have right to arrest me.
No? You got a job, Injun?
No.
Well, that's vagrancy, and besides, you're wearing a gun again. Either one of them charges is enough. Come on, let's go. Okay, Bruckner, get out.
You said I could sleep here tonight, Marshal.
No, not tonight, pal. Sorry.
Never get to stay in jail when I want. People always pushing poor old Bruckner around. Always telling him what to do, where to go, how to act. Just don't understand people anymore.
Well, Injun, it's been nice knowing you.
What you do now?
You caused too much trouble around here. You were given fair warning. You're going to be killed trying to escape. Tough luck, but those are the orders.
What's happening?
Decided to follow you, Tonto. Afraid there might be more trouble.
If you think I'm going to let a masked bandit take a prisoner away from me...
No, Kemo Sabe. This is my fight.
Good work, Tonto. You'll be out for a while. In a way, that's bad. Now we can't find out who tried to kill you and why.
Maybe because me see fight between banker and son.
That's right. We'd better have that talk with Bill Nichols. That is, if we can find him.
Him live in a hotel now.
Wait till it gets dark and then enter the back way.
What about him?
We'll tie and gag him and lock him in that cell. We can talk with him later. Hello, Bill.
Mister, how the dickens are you? And Tonto, what are you two doing this far of the country?
Originally, we stopped by to see you.
Oh, I suppose you know I'm not the marshal anymore.
Hendricks say you retire.
Oh, so you met Hendricks.
We meet him.
As a matter of fact, he tried to kill Tonto about a half hour ago.
He tried to do what?
Me see something him not want me to see.
Hold it, Tonto. I want to hear every word of this. And I can listen better with a cup of coffee. Gee, Hossiford, if that don't beat all. Tom Bryant, no less. A high-class banker, and him going against the law.
May think him lie to keep son out of trouble.
Or to hold it over the boy's head as a threat. That'd be just like Bryant. Every time Fred shows signs of having a mind of his own, the old man finds a way to whip him back into line.
Even if it meant ordering Marshal Hendricks to kill Tonto?
Could be, but it'd be awful hard to prove.
There's one way we can get that proof.
How we get that proof, Kemo Sabe?
From Tom Bryant himself. By trapping him into a confession. We'll have to use you as bait, Tonto.
Sounds pretty dangerous, mister.
If Kemo Sabe think plan work, me not afraid to try it.
I'll explain the details to you on the way to Brian's ranch. Come on.
Marshal! Marshal! What are you doing in there, Marshal? Key? You want the key? Where are they, Marshal? I got them, Marshal. I'll get you untied right away, Marshal. Right away, just as fast as I can. What happened? How'd you ever get all tied up like this? Hey, Marshal, can I stay here tonight? They wouldn't let me sleep at the cafe, so I...
Raise hands.
What is this? What do you want?
Me want truth, Mr. Bryant. Me see you shoot father this morning. Why you deny it? Why you make Marshal say he'll never see me before? Why?
Well, you got it all wrong, Indian. All wrong.
Not wrong. It's better you talk now and talk plenty.
That'll do, Indian. Put up your hands. You made a bad mistake coming here. From now on, you'll be in a jail cell.
Me escaped from jail once. Can do it again.
What?
Marshal locked me up this afternoon, tried to kill me. Me fight back and escape.
He tried to kill you?
Him say him follow orders.
Is that true?
Of course not. I told him to run the Indian out of town, that's all. You heard me. Well, the harm's been done now. This fellow knows too much. We'll have to shut him up.
Murder, is that what you're talking about?
Fred, we've got no choice.
What's happened to you? Have you lost all sense of decency? All reality?
I think it's you who've lost sight of reality. This is no time for weakness, boy.
You call it weakness because I don't want to see a man murdered.
You didn't seem to mind putting a bullet in me.
You pulled the trigger on that gun when you tried to take it away from me. And you know it.
This Indian doesn't know it. His testimony could send you to prison.
Well, I'd sooner go to prison than have him killed.
Stop being childish. Everything I've done for you. Getting rid of this Indian will be for your good, not mine. You'll be able to continue working at the bank, and someday you'll step into my shoes. Can't you see what that means?
Oh, yeah, I know what it means. If I help you commit murder, I'll be under your thumb from now on.
If you don't help me, I'll say that you shot me when I caught you stealing from the bank. And I'll see that you get the maximum sentence on both charges.
Even though I'm innocent.
Fred, you can't fight me. Be man enough to admit when you're whipped. Well, what'll it be? Cooperation or the chain gang? I thought you'd come to your senses.
I think we've heard enough, Bill. Let's go.
Go where, mister? Drop those guns now and get inside. Open up the door, Fred. We got visitors.
Nichols, what were you doing out there?
Listening to some pretty grim confessions, Mr. Bryant.
These two must be in cahoots with the Indian, Mr. Bryant. I had him in jail, but he got away.
So we heard.
Well, it wasn't my fault, Mr.
We'll talk
Bryant.
about it later. Right now, you've got another job to do. And I'm sure there won't be any mistakes this time.
No, sir.
Before you have us killed, Mr. Bryan, I wouldn't have believed that a law-abiding banker could have fallen so low if I hadn't have seen it myself.
I'm not interested in the beliefs of a masked outlaw. Take them out of here, Hendricks.
It's happened because of your son, hasn't it?
I warn you to be still.
This has been your one failure, and you can't accept it. You've ordered a human being to be strong, and he hasn't obeyed you. Can't you understand, sir? Strength can only come from inner convictions, never from orders.
Be still.
You can't win this fight.
Don't be a fool.
It's true. That's why you hate Fred. Not because he's weaker than you, but because he's stronger.
You think so? Fred, take this. Take it. These men will ruin us if they live. I want you to go with Hendricks. I want you to help him.
All right, gentlemen.
No!
Well, Bill, how does it feel to be marshal again?
Wonderful, mister. Just like old times.
Stagecoach waiting to take prisoners to penitentiary.
Oh, thanks, Tonto. All right, Mr. Bryan, Hendricks, time to be leaving.
I saw the Oh, you're still here.
Hello, Fred.
I thought I'd come down and see you off.
Thanks for coming down, son.
Well, Dad, although I'm going to be in law school, I'll have a little free time on my hands. I thought I could come and visit you.
I hope you will, son. And don't worry about the money for your schooling. Our new bank manager will send you whatever you need. The West needs lawyers, you know.
Yes, sir, I know. And I'm sure Fred will make a good one.
Sorry to break this up, but we better not keep the coach waiting.
Thanks, mister, for helping my son be a man.
Mr. Bryan, Fred was a man all along. All he needed was a little chance to prove it. Now, Bill, it's time that Tonto and I were riding on.
Bye, Marshal. We come back this way someday.
I'll be waiting for you.
Good luck, Fred.
Thanks, mister.
Hi, friend.
Strange that things worked out.
The only way it could have worked out, Fred.
You know, I think Dad knew he was wrong all along. Just too stubborn to admit it. Well, he'll be back in a couple of years, and we'll be a lot closer together then. Thanks to Tonto, the Lone Ranger.
I'll Silver! Away!
Sure is beautiful country, fella. Should have come here years ago. Well, just a little further to the water. I'll give you a drink there. All right. Good shooting. I think we better find a place to camp.
The river not far from here, Kemo Sabe. There's plenty of shade and water there.
All right, we'll go there.
There he is, watering his horse. You couldn't ask for a better shot. It's like taking candy from a baby. All right, let's get back to the ranch before we're missed.
Tonto! It's time to eat!
We come, Kemo Sabe. Kemo Sabe, party of man in river. Dead, Kemo Sabe?
No, he's still alive. He's been shot. We've got to get that bullet out fast.
Oh, somebody shot me.
Take it easy, son.
Mask. Was it you?
No, we didn't put that bullet in you, but we're going to have to take it out.
Who are you?
Me pull you out of river.
But if you didn't shoot me, who did?
That's what you're going to have to tell us. After we take care of that wound.
Oh.
I've had plenty. You bite on this. How boy feel now, Kemo Sabe?
He's asleep. I think we'd better let him rest for a while.
It's good thing him pass out when you probe for bullet. Him not feel pain so much.
Tonto, let me take a look at that bullet. And it was fired from a .30 caliber rifle. At least we have something to go on.
You think whoever shoot at him may be still somewhere nearby?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Maybe it's a good idea for me to go take a look around. Make sure nobody see us pull boy from river.
You do that. I'd better stay here and keep an eye on the young fellow.
Maybe back soon. You're right, Scout. Look like we on wild goose chase. Now we go back now.
You find anything, Tonto?
Nothing, Kemo Sabe. Me ride 2 or 3 miles upstream, follow trail along riverbank.
There was no sign of where the ambusher was hiding?
No tracks, Kemo Sabe. Me look everywhere, but ground very rocky.
We'll just have to wait till the boy wakes up before we get any more information. In the meantime, we better make some coffee. You may want it.
Sure tastes good. Guess I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you two. And now I can never thank you.
No need for thanks. Just tell us who you are and why somebody wanted to kill you.
I can answer the first part, but not the second. My name is Kip Holloway. I was on my way to visit my grandfather. Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Chad Banyon.
Chad Banyon? Him run biggest spread in this territory.
This is your first trip west, isn't it?
I'm afraid so, mister. My mother married a man from Boston, so I lived all my life there. My folks died last year, and Granddad said it was high time I paid him a visit.
Who else knew you were coming here?
Just about everybody, I guess. See, it's sort of a celebration. Granddad's getting married next week. A real nice old gal named Emmy Corkle. She's his housekeeper. They both wrote me and wanted me to come out for the ceremony.
And you have no idea who tried to shoot you?
I haven't the faintest. I caught a glimpse of 2 men on the bluff, but of course I don't know who they were. Look, could I borrow one of your horses? I really ought to be on my way.
You're not going anywhere, Kip. That wound needs time to heal.
But Granddad will be expecting me.
When word gets out that you're still alive, whoever ambushed you may try again. We can't let that happen. Tonto, I want you to ride to his grandfather's ranch. Tell Mr. Banyon what happened.
Me do, Kemo Sabe.
Tell him to send back some men he can trust, so Kip will have a safe escort back to the ranch.
Me ride fast. Be back soon.
Chad, you've been pacing out there all afternoon. You're not going to bring Kip here any faster by wearing that game leg of yours down to a stump.
Well, he's late, Emmy. I'm afeared something's happened to him.
I'll stop you fretting. After all, the boy's a stranger to our roads. It's bound to take him longer than it would one of your own men.
I reckon you're right, Emmy. It's just that well, he's the only kinfolks that I got. And I ain't never seen him before.
Well, I don't blame you for being impatient. I reckon I'm near as anxious to see him as you are.
Oh, it's going to be real nice when he gets here, Emmy. Just the 3 of us running this spread together. My new wife, and my very own grandson. Gives a fellow a reason to want to start living all over again. Is that him coming, Emmy?
No, Chad. Just a couple of the hands coming in from the range.
Oh.
Hey, where you boys been all day? Ain't seen hide nor hair of you.
Me and Duke been out in the north pasture, Miss Corkle. The fence needed mending.
Oh, well, then you better head on over to the bunkhouse. You're going to miss your grub.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's time for your grub, too.
Emmy, how can I eat until...
Now. We'll have our supper right out here on the porch. You can watch for the boy just as well sitting down as you can standing up.
What?
And I don't want no more back talk out of you, Chad Banyon. Chad, you're not eating enough to keep a hummingbird alive.
Emmy, look.
No, Chad. It ain't your grandson. Less than Kip's an Indian.
Well, welcome, Indian. Something we can do for you?
Me have message for Chad Banyon.
Well, I'm Chad Banyon.
My message for you alone.
Well, now, this is my housekeeper, Emmy Corkle. Next week, she's going to be my wife. So anything you say to me, you can say to her.
That all right, then.
Well, out with it, Indian. What's the message?
2 men tried to kill your grandson.
Kill Kip?
Oh, no.
Bullet hit him in shoulder, knock him from horse into river. Me see him in water and pull him out.
Well, where's he now?
My friend stay with him along river. Him lose plenty blood.
You sure he's safe?
Him safe. My friend not leave him.
Indian, I can't tell you how grateful we are to you for saving his life.
Well, what I can't understand is who'd want to shoot him.
Why, he has no enemies out here. The boy's a stranger to these parts.
My friend say you send somebody bring boy back safe. When word get out him still alive, men who try to shoot him maybe try again.
The Indian's right, Emmy. We must send some of our men to bring Kip in.
But how do you know you can trust them?
Our own men.
Now, easy, Chad. After all, you've been riding him kind of hard lately. Maybe a couple of the boys worked up a grudge against you and tried to take it out on your grandson.
Well, then I'm going after him myself. Game leg or no game leg.
You'll do nothing of the sort. You wouldn't last half a mile.
Well, I've got to send somebody, Emmy, somebody I can trust.
And that's exactly who is going, Chad. Now, you keep your setting. I ain't no powder puff female, but back on my pappy's farm, I was right handy with a gun when I had to be. You and me'll bring that boy back safe.
Emmy, you're just a woman.
Shh, now, hush up, Chad. In another week, Kip'll be my grandson, too. Reckon I got a right to help save his life. When do we leave, Indian?
It'd be dark soon. Bet we wait till morning. Me find trail faster then.
Fair enough. We leave at daybreak. Now, you come on up here and get yourself some grub. I'll get you a clean plate. Why, your ribs must be near stuck together from hunger.
And tell me all about my grandson, Indian. All about him.
How far is it from here?
Half day's ride, maybe. Boy, be back by nightfall. Horse is plenty thirsty.
Can't say as I blame him. It's a sticky hot day. How much further?
5, 6 miles, maybe. Scout, what's the matter?
That horse of yours is sure a nervous critter. What's ailing him?
Him trying to tell me something. Me think maybe somebody follow us.
You act like that horse could talk.
Him tell me when danger near.
Well, you may be right, Indian. Still, how could anyone be following us? Nobody even knows we left the ranch. Anyways, we're here, so we might as well get on.
You sure we ain't lost them?
No, this is where they wanted their horses. Look at those hoof prints. Let's keep moving.
What is it now, Indian?
We hear sound on trail behind us.
Could be the wind.
No, not wind. Me hear horses coming.
Now, you've got me worried. Are you sure you're not imagining things?
Let me show you. We take cover.
I sure hope you're wrong. If we're being followed, it means real trouble.
We find out plenty soon. Listen.
Looks like they left a trail here.
It means they're getting closer to the kid. We'll catch up with them fast if we want to finish them off.
There must be men who tried to kill Boy.
I'm afraid you're right.
We take them prisoner, not give them a second chance.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Tracks go off there.
You reach fast.
No, Indian. You do the reaching. And drop that gun. Now.
What went wrong, Ma?
That horse of the Indians was just too smart. It warned him you were coming.
Why you do this?
Wasn't much else I could do, Indian, when these two idiot sons of mine bungled the job I sent him out on.
But, Ma, like we told you last night, we were sure he was dead.
Double dead. Cash put a bullet in him and he fell into the river.
These your sons?
Yeah, but Chad Banyon don't know it. You see, they got kind of long prison records. So have I, for that matter. But I figured what Chad didn't know wouldn't hurt him.
So that's it. You marry Mr. Banyon so ranch come to you someday.
That's right. Me and my boys. And I ain't aiming to share it with no Eastern tenderfoot neither. Once he's out of the way, I'll be next of kin.
You'll never get ranch now. Me not take you to Boy.
I think you will. There's ways of persuading you. Cash.
Not talk. I know you, Small. He ain't gonna lead us to that kid.
Looks like we're beat, Ma.
Not quite. Maybe if that horse of his was smart enough to warn him, it's smart enough to lead us to where the kid is. Tie and gag the Indian. All right, horse, you know where to take him. Lead the way.
Good boy, Silver.
Mister, that's the finest horse I've ever seen.
He's more than that, Kip. He's a faithful friend. Many's the time he saved my life. All right, Silver. Let's see if you can do that new trick I taught you. Come on, boy. All right, Silver. When I snap my fingers and raise my hands, you rear up and come at me. All right, boy? Good boy, Silver. I knew you could.
That's a wonderful horse. I'm getting kind of worried. Shouldn't Tonto be back by now with some of Granddad's men?
It's too soon to worry, Kip. Let's give Tonto a few more hours.
Now, what's that horse stop for?
Give him time. He's led us this far. He'll know the way to go. I figure we must be getting pretty close to where the kid is hidden. The Indian told me when we stopped to water the horses it was only 5 or 6 miles.
What about the Indian? Still out cold?
Dead to the world. I must have hit him even harder than I thought. Come on, boy. Show us the way.
Pretty smart, Indian. But you'll pay for this.
No use, Ma. That horse took off like grease lightning. Must be more than a mile from here by now.
Yes, and headed for the kid and who's ever with him. I don't like it, Ma. Why don't we finish off the Indian and get out of here while we still got a chance?
What's the matter with you two, anyway? Sure, we're in trouble. Sure, that horse will head for the kid and his friend. But there's one thing the horse can't tell him, and that's how many of us are coming.
What good'll that do us?
Plenty of good. We are going to set a little trap, and the kid and his friend are going to walk right into it. Only this time, I'll make sure the Indian won't get a chance to warn him.
Don't bother, Ma.
I wish I could do that. Don't you ever worry? Tonto should have been here long ago.
Worry won't get him here any sooner, Kip. Patience, mate.
Looks like him coming now.
Scout, something's happened to Tonto.
Wonder what happened.
Scout's trying to tell us something. Tonto's been attacked. They'll probably follow Scout's trail here. We'd better take cover and be ready for an emergency.
They've got Tonto.
Don't worry. They won't have him for long. Hold it. Drop your guns and get over there. Get off your horses. Hurry up. You. This side. Watch them, Kip, while I look after Tonto. You all right, Tonto?
Where, woman?
What woman?
I'm right behind you, mister. All right, boy. Drop that gun. Drop it or I'll put a bullet in you.
Better do as she says, Kip.
Well, I'm glad you show more sense than the kid, mister. Now drop yours. The three of you, line up over there. Get...
Who are you, anyway?
Why, I'm Emmy Corkle, Kip. Your new grandma to be.
You and Granddad both broke. You wanted me to come out here.
I had to. How else could I be sure of getting rid of you?
These are sons, Kip. She want you dead, so she be next of kin. Then she own Olive Ranch.
Surely you're not going to kill these men. They've done you no harm.
Harm enough to cost them their lives.
How will you explain Kip's death to his grandfather?
Easy. I found him dead. Killed by a masked man who was waiting to ambush me and the Indians. He got the Indian, but I got him.
Very convincing, Mrs. Corkle. But it won't work.
No. You think you've got a way out of it?
Yes, I know I have.
Well, you've got me interested, mister. How?
Just by snapping my fingers.
Snap 'em.
Thanks. I will.
Look out, Mom!
Now, Mrs. Corkle, you and your boys have a date with the sheriff. On your feet.
And it was Emmy who wanted you killed, boy. When I think of how she looked after me these last 5 years, it just don't make sense.
That was all part of her plan, Mr. Banyon. First to win your confidence, and then to win your ranch.
You're all I've got left now, boy. You will stick with me, though, won't you?
You bet I'm sticking, Granddad. I just hope I'm good enough to help you with this spread.
You'll do a fine job, Kip. Well, it's time Tonto and I were riding on. Adios.
Bye.
I'm sure grateful to those two men, boy. If they hadn't come along when they did, you'd be dead by now. And so would I, like as not.
They're one of the main reasons I like the West so much, Granddad, because it has men like them.
You know, I never even got a chance to ask that masked fellow's name. Do you know what it is?
You bet I do. The Indian told me. He's the man they call the Lone Ranger.
Hail Silver! Away!
I'm sure the smoke came from this direction.
There, Kemo Sabe. What do you think happened, Kemo Sabe? Maybe outlaw ambush?
Well, it could be.
And driver probably free horses and get away. There are tracks of Indian ponies.
Tonto, look.
Why you Taro? Blue Feather not kind of man to break peace treaty.
Well, I know. I don't understand it. I wonder why. Tonto.
War paint say them great warriors kill many men. But we never see this line of black before, Kemo Sabe. Fort Stevens not far. We take them there.
Tempers are running high at the fort. It might be wiser to turn them over to Indian justice.
But if Blue Feather decide to make war?
Blue Feather decides to make war. It's better we know about it now. We'll take these two to Blue Feather's camp. Aloha, me.
Shosho na I said. My pen. That's Shona. Lone Ranger and Tonto, great friends of Paiute Nation. Do right to bring renegade warriors here. Indian council decide on punishment.
Then there was no thought of war in Blue Feather's heart?
Blue Feather, a man of peace. Sign paper in blood. No war, masked man.
On forehead of brave who attack us, there was black line. What it mean, Blue Feather?
You call us friends, yet you will not answer.
1, 2, 3 moons ago, when Blue Feather signed paper of peace, many Paiute think him wrong. Say him traitor. Say Indian must fight for land. These men form band. Paint black on forehead. Black for death. Black for war.
Who leads these men?
Running Horse.
Your brother?
Running Horse grow wiser soon.
I know how you feel, Chief.
Blue Feather protect his red brother. But Blue Feather have many brothers. Red, white. Is it fair to protect only one brother at expense of all?
Blue Feather talk to Running Horse soon.
Time for talk is past.
I have spoken.
As you wish. It grows late. Tonto and I have many miles to ride.
Where you go, masked man?
To the fort. To speak with Colonel Wickstrom.
You tell white soldiers about attack on wagon?
I will. But I'll tell them, too, that the Braves will be punished. That Blue Feather is a chief who loves justice.
Return soon, masked man.
Ben Murray! Heard you were going back east. Change your mind?
No, I'm just waiting for a wagon train. Don't much take the idea of striking out on my own.
You take any parties out lately, Ben?
Why not? You're still the best guide in the Southwest.
No more, mister. No more.
Come on, Tonto.
And I tell you, Colonel, I'm getting sick of this waiting. My sister and I have very important business in San Carlos, and we intend to take care of it whether you approve of the trip or not.
Mr. Walker, this isn't Philadelphia. This is a western frontier. Now, of course, if I could spare a military escort...
We do not need a military escort, sir.
Then you're one of the bravest men I've ever met, or one of the most foolish.
Colonel! It's all right, Miss Sally. These men are friends of ours. Welcome back to Fort Stevens, Mr. Tonto.
Colonel.
Good to see you again, Colonel Wickstrom.
Thank you. These young folks are just out from the east about a week ago. Jed Walker and his sister, Miss Sally. Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
How do you do?
The Lone Ranger? Oh, but I thought you were a legend. I mean, I didn't think you were real. I mean,
we understand, miss.
Well, maybe you'd help us understand. What's supposed to be so terrible about not wanting a military escort?
2 reasons, Mr. Walker. In the first place, the territory between here and San Carlos is nearly all desert. And if you've never been alone on the desert before, you don't know how easy it is to become lost. In the second place, the Paiutes are on the warpath again. Colonel, we found a burning wagon.
Blue Feather not to blame. Attack made by renegades.
Did you talk to him?
Yes. He claims it was his brother. But Blue Feather says he can calm him down.
Well, who cares if he can or not? What's an occasional redskin anyway?
An occasional redskin?
All right, Mr. Walker, since you've got your mind made up, and the Colonel can't offer you an escort, Tonto and I'll go along for protection.
I don't need protection, and I don't want protection. Can't any of you get that through your heads? Colonel, my sister and I are leaving here tomorrow morning at 7 sharp. Good day to you, sir. Come along, Sally.
I'm sorry.
I understand this.
Your brother not no danger on desert.
Oh, I think he does, though he won't admit it. It's just the way he is.
You see, Miss Sally, sometimes the braver a man acts, the more unsure he is.
Oh, you're quite right. I think I can tell you in confidence. Jed has been looking for a guide, on his own.
Then maybe him find guide on his own.
Sally!
I think everything will be all right, miss.
Oh, thank you both very much.
Bye.
Bye. What do you mean Walker will find a guide? Why, there hasn't been one guide at this fort for over a month.
Yeah, one here now.
Who?
Ben Murray.
Ben Murray? Oh, no. Ben is through. Did you know that Ben went all to pieces after that fracas last March? Why, there were 18 people killed in that party. He told me himself that he turned tail and ran when the Paiutes attacked. No, sir, you'll never get Ben to go out again.
Colonel, I know it isn't going to be easy.
Well, why try?
Because it's the only way for Ben to get his courage back. And because Tonto and I think he's worth saving.
Well, suppose he runs away from the Walkers, too.
Them intend to go alone in the first place.
Besides, we'll be in shooting distance.
Then you're just going to follow.
That's right.
Why you two want to stick your necks out is certainly beyond me, but I guess you make it a habit of doing that, huh? Well, I can't stop you, and I don't suppose I would if I could. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Colonel. Come on, Tonto, we'll try and find Ben.
Adios.
man to find, Ben.
Maybe I don't want to be found.
We've got a job for you.
I'm not interested.
How you know that? You're not here yet.
All right, what is it?
Guide for a party going to San Carlos.
Well, now, you're just full of jokes, aren't you?
You know, Ben, I thought I knew you. Now I'm not so sure.
Why not? I'm a coward. It's simple. There's nothing complicated about that.
You're wrong, Ben. Cowardice is the most complicated thing on this earth.
Ben, you're not first man to run from fight.
I don't care about the others. I'm concerned with me.
How long is this going to keep up?
What?
This self-pity.
Now, I think you're going too far, mister.
You made a mistake last March. You run away. That's all over now.
Still running, Ben?
No.
Well, that's the first of the battles. Coming back to face the truth.
Look, you were right when you said you didn't understand me. Mister, I can't take any more wagon trains west.
Ben, there's a boy and girl going to San Carlos tomorrow. They need a guide. They might die if you don't help them.
And they'll have to die.
All right. Guess we were wrong. Come on, Tonto.
Mister. Never mind.
Well, mister, it looks like you made a mistake. Ben would have been here long before this if your talk had done any good.
Give him time, Colonel.
Ben needs more than time.
Kemo Sabe.
Howdy.
Hello.
You Jed Walker?
Yes?
I hear you're headed for San Carlos.
That's right.
Do you need a guide?
Well, yeah, I suppose we could use one.
My name's Murray. Ben Murray.
Pleased to know you. Murray.
Yeah, that's right.
Seems I've heard that name somewhere before. Murray. Oh, Sally. I want you to meet our new guide, Mr. Ben Murray. It's my sister.
It's a pleasure, Miss Walker.
Mr. Murray?
All right, Murray.
Huh?
Lead the way.
Yeah.
Now, then be out of port soon.
Come on, Tonto.
Just a minute. You know, the Spanish have a wonderful phrase for occasions like this, but I can't think
Vaya con Dios.
That's it. Go with God.
Ooh.
How's it look?
It's empty, and that's good. There's a water hole up ahead about a mile and a half. Let's stop there for a bit.
Yeah.
How far have we come, Mr. Murray?
Oh, 50, 60 miles.
Hot.
It'll get worse.
Murray. Still think I've heard that name somewhere before.
Oh?
Ben Murray. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I read somewhere last spring about a guy who ran away and... You? Was that you, mister?
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon it was.
Oh, fine. Well, that just makes things dandy.
Jed, for heaven's sake.
The West, the land of the brave. I swear I don't understand you people. All you have to do to win this whole new territory is to run a few savages off it. Instead, you run. You hide. You tremble like whipped dogs.
Jed, please. Mr. Murray, look. What is it?
It's pirate smoke. War talk.
Well, now, don't you fret, Ben boy. If there's any trouble, Sally and I'll take care of it. You just run along.
Walker, you're about the biggest fool I ever did see. Bar none, the biggest. I don't know what you think an Indian attack is like, but mister, you better pray you never find out. Now, let's get going.
4 signals, Kemo Sabe.
Ben's moving on. We better stay as close to them as possible. Come on. You better not look.
Him hurt bad, Kemo Sabe?
He'll be all right, Tonto. You'd better take over.
Mister, there's no way we can thank you.
Forget it, Ben. How do you feel?
I'm hanging on.
Walker's lost a lot of blood. We'll have to rest for a while before we go on to San Carlos.
I know a place about a quarter of a mile from here. Guarded on 3 sides. We ought to be safe there for a while anyway.
Let's go. We'll rest here for a while. Over there, Tonto.
What do the drums mean? Are they going to attack again?
No, not yet. Not as long as the drums keep beating. It's when they stop.
Maybe there's still one way out of here, Kemo Sabe.
You mean Blue Feather?
Ah, maybe me can get through to him. Maybe him come back here before dawn with braves.
Tonto? You'd risk your own life to save us? To save me? You, an Indian?
All men are brothers, Mr. Walker. Some have red skin, some have black skin, some have white skin, but we all brothers. Me go now, Kemo Sabe.
Be careful, Tonto.
It's about time for me to take a look out, mister. Everything normal?
Seems to be, Ben.
Yeah, you get yourself some rest. I'll call you in an hour or so.
All right.
What do the drums mean? Are they going to attack again?
No, not yet. Not as long as the drums keep beating. It's when they stop. When they stop. No, not yet. As long as the drums keep beating. It's when they stop.
That was the final battle, Ben. Never have to fight it again.
You saw me.
Yes.
But you didn't call out.
It was a contest within yourself. Nobody else had any business in it. You won, and that's the way it had to be.
It's going to be dawn pretty soon. I wonder if Tonto made it.
I wonder.
Mister? What's wrong? Something's different.
The drums have stopped, Jed.
Then they'll be attacking soon.
I'll help.
No, Walker. No, you stay here with your sister. We'll take care of things.
Aren't you afraid?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm scared stiff.
So am I. Funny, I never was able to admit that to myself before. I was too busy hiding it, so I had to talk big. I always knew there was some I couldn't fool. I don't expect you'll understand me, Murray. Only to forgive me.
All right.
Ben, how do you feel?
I feel like I've got 3 heads, but I think I'll live.
All renegades now captured, masked man. Blue Feather wrong, Tonto right. One brother not worth many lives.
This is the way it had to be, Blue Feather.
Travel is now safe in Paiute country. No more attacks, no more war, thanks to masked friend.
And to the great chief of the Paiutes. Well, Ben, you and Jed are all right. Tonto and I'll be riding on.
I feel better than I've ever felt in my life, mister.
I sure owe you a debt of thanks, mister. For everything.
Good luck in San Carlos. Adios.
What wonderful men. Do you think we'll ever see them again?
Sure we will. If we ever need their help. That's one thing I finally learned, Miss Walker. You can always depend on Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
Silver! Away!